What was the idea that's like, all right,
Well,
I can be the guy that can do this.
I was going to other events and I thought to myself, like, it's like my favorite magazine just came to life. But the people on stage, if they were to represent articles, I probably wouldn't have bought this magazine. Like, they're not that fucking great. Like, they're cool, but if this is it, this is depressing.
So the design conference in Brisbane, Australia. What?
Yeah, dude.
All right, man. So just like it goes live, and it's you've got people on stage in June, but then it's also streaming live for free on YouTube.
Give me a sec. Give me a
Yeah.
sec. I'm on Starlink. I live in the country. Yeah, all right. I think I'm good. We're good.
Cool. So is that all right, man? So we've been chatting for a little bit, but we just started recording. We've got Matthew Haynes from the design conference over in Brisbane, Australia. Thanks for hopping on here, man. This is pretty cool.
Oh, dude, I'm pumped to be on here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, man, this is rad. So, all right, dude. So you've got the design conference. We were just talking about like live versus video. So it's in June. You're gonna have people up on stage, but then does it also stream live on YouTube for free?
No, well, we do
Okay.
charge for it. We do charge for it, but what we're thinking of doing is drastically reducing what we charge for it. To stream live, there's a ton of costs. There's a boatload of costs. And so we sort of average our sort of what it costs us to do it and how many people we think we can get, sort of reverse engineer what it should be worth.
Yeah.
A big principle of the conference to date has been it's for the community. It's not, this is the office. It's lean.
Yeah.
I work from home. It's just me until we get to the conference. And I'm building a brand, TDC has always been around not doing what we're meant to do, but not doing what we're told to do. It's doing what we're meant to do. So giving a voice to independent creatives, helping creating a path for next generation creatives to get on stage and share their thoughts, but also letting fully established people share sort of like a resonating voice about where we need to go as a society. For me, the conference has always been the life conference for designers. Like, I reckon it's more rooted in spirituality than it is design. At the heart of a really great designer is a really great person. I truly believe that. And I feel like good people have good things to say. And if someone hopped up on stage at TDC and didn't talk about design at all and was just talking about, an anecdote of a 12-month period in their life where prior they used to do this and then they made this shift to sort of like manifest or create an alternative reality where they're, without being like fucking, what's that word? Crazy, but an alternative reality where what they want to do will flourish. And typically that's rooted in helping other people, having more balance in your life, letting go of bullshit that you, pattern forming decisions that have put you on autopilot into what would you call it? Subconscious self-destructive behavior. Like everyone does it. Like just smoking durries, I'm fucking nervous. I'm stressed. I need a cigarette. Like that old adage, like, man, you could just literally go down, sit down and meditate or try and meditate for like 2-3 minutes and get you to the same fucking place, dude. And it's so much more healthy. And then you start like, treating your body or your mind even better on a fucking totally different level. And then everything that you wanted to happen just starts happening. You start having more meaningful relationships with your friends. You start going harder, because I ride downhill a little bit. And so like fucking bomb that hill a little bit harder because you got more fitness going because you've been doing it more often or you sort of make one of my big things last year, we had this significant swell hit on my birthday. And it was big. Like super big. So for where we are, like 3-4 meters.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it, and like on the inside, it was bowl over and just barrel and just huge blowout barrels. And I was just like, holy shit, I've seen enough. And I was like, all my mates are on the shore. And I was like, what are you doing? Why aren't you going out? And they're like, dude, it's big. And I was like, yeah, I know, I can see it. And they're like, no, dude, it's big. So
that's what you're waiting for. Right?
But well, in my mind, I was waiting for it, but it was fucking huge, man. And I've raced back to my car, ripped on the wetsuit because winter's when we get out like nice westerlies, grabbed my stuff. And then I got because I had to race down the sand, back to the car park, put my shit on, hide my keys, race back to the beach. And then I got there, and man, these waves were massive because this particular beach has this reef way out in the sea, and it makes the waves come in at two different angles. And when they sort of hit and crisscross, it has this huge wedge. I've paddled out there. It was big. But I was sitting out there, and I was like, for this year's holiday, I'm going to go and surf some big waves. And so I booked a ticket for my holiday this year or last year. I went to G-Land, which is like on East Java, just over from Bali. And the day that we got there, it was 10 foot.
Nice.
Which is like 4 to 5 meters. Like we were going through the ocean, in the middle of the ocean, and the boat had to go like slow down, and then it just goes up over a huge wave because if we would have got launched off the back of it in the middle of the ocean. So rounding back, the conference for me is about owning your mind and owning your life and taking charge of what you want to achieve while you're here, as opposed to being on autopilot and doing all the things that the TV and the radio and other people who are, not thinking for themselves subconsciously encourage us to do. And man, when you make that switch, dude, everything changes pretty quick, eh? It's incredible.
No, I love that, right? Because like if you're here in the States, it's really focused on working hard. Not saying that you can't work hard if that's the approach that you take, but here it's like everybody's flexing how hard they work. Like, dude, I didn't sleep last night. I was up all night.
That's not a flex.
It's not a flex. It's not a flex at all. It's like there's no balance. It's like, man, I didn't see my kids for a whole week because I was working so hard. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Well, don't get me wrong. I can see where they're coming from. And I sort of associate that with sort of like a David Goggins, like front loading your life, where you just go fucking hard for 10 years. Just go hard while you've got all that juice in the tank. You from 20 to 30, if you go hard, it'll pay off, especially if you're focused, you're healthy, you're doing all that. Because typically people in that age bracket, they're going hard anyways, but they're just doing it on the piss and drugs and, partying all weekend, working all week in a dead end job. Like that's difficult work, man. Working at a job you don't want and blowing off steam all weekend just to be back at work on Monday. Like that is also unhealthy. Right. But, I reckon it is good to go hard, but, I don't think it's fair to your children whatsoever. Yeah. And that's just my opinion. It's not necessarily right, but, we've got number one on the way. Nice. I've sort of front loaded my life. Well, I've worked hard. I haven't worked smart because I'm not that smart. But yeah, we've got number one on the way. So, we've got a startup on the way. We're turning the conference into a digital platform, which is super exciting. I think by 2028, the design conference will be hosted every month in a major design capital around the world, like from Africa, South America, Central America, North America, Asia, the Middle East, where, I'm so ready for it. And I can just I get goosebumps thinking about it. Cause, you know what I mean? Like, and I all believe it's got to do with making a focused attempt to take control of my own mind and my own destiny, and then amplifying that in a way by making decisions that allow me to believe it's real. Because I don't just believe anything's going to happen. It's just like, come on, man, but I do believe things. I believe anything can happen if you put yourself in a position of power to achieve it.
So then design conference is like 10 years old. How'd you get this thing started? Like what was the idea that's like, all right, I can be the guy that can do this. Let's take a quick break for idpdirect.com. Now, these guys are awesome. They are a packaging manufacturer. They are not a reseller. They're not a distributor. They actually own multiple factories around the planet, and they make retail packaging, bags, boxes, garment bags, fashion packaging, you name it. They do it. They even weave their own woven paper handles in-house. So you can specify any color, any thickness, any type of weave. They can do it because they own their factories. They've also gotten their full carbon inventory done on their factories, not using averages from the industry. They actually have data from each of their locations. One of them is completely solar. So check them out. They'll give you all their scope 1, scope 2, scope 3, and even scope 4, which I wasn't aware of. But they've got all the information ready for you. So if you're a brand and you're looking for packaging that you don't want to go through a distributor and you want to just go straight to the factory and have all your carbon emissions data ready for EPR or any of the other regulations that are out there that are making it difficult for you to buy packaging and import it, go to idpdirect.com. One last thing, do yourself a favor, go to idpdirect.com. They've got a recycling symbol icon guide that you can download. It's all the recycling symbols in vector format, free to use. You can grab them, place them on your packaging, doesn't matter. It's ready to go. It even gives you an explanation of what the recycling symbol is, what country to use it in, when to use it, and how to use it. And like I said, it's vector and it's safe. I know anytime I go to download vector graphics, you're never quite sure from these websites what other things are downloading to your computer. So check them out, idpdirect.com. Let's get back to the show.
All right. So, like, without being disrespectful, I was going to other events and I thought to myself, like, this is pretty fucking one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going, there's all these, like, people that are meant to be really great creatives on stage. And, like, this is before Facebook and, like, Instagram had really taken off, right? And I'm just like, it's like my favorite magazine just came to life. But the people on stage, if they were to represent articles, I probably wouldn't have bought this magazine. Like, they're not that fucking great. Like, they're cool, but if this is it, this is depressing because at that point in my life, I was looking around at the cohort that I was at university with, and I'm like, because prior to conference, I played professional baseball for Cleveland Indians.
What,
over in the States? Yeah.
The States?
Yeah. So, and I played in the minor leagues for 4 years, and that's where I got my work ethic from because the minor leagues is no joke, man. It's like the army. Over there, it's just dog eat dog. So I went to university and I was like, let's fucking dog eat dog. Like, let's just do my assignments twice. Let's do it again until I actually understand what the language of design is. So halfway through university, I sort of cottoned on to it's more psychology and business than it is design and all this types of strategy and all this sort of stuff. So I'm looking at all this psychological profile of what a design is and then going to these events and going, this is pretty one-dimensional. This is all like skateboard graphics. And it's like, and I know some great skateboard graphic designers who are really fucking cool people. But like I didn't study 4 years to do skateboard graphics. Do you know what I mean? And so I was like, we've got to put a conference out there that allows people to truly accept who they are, whether they're introverted, extroverted, straight, gay, black, white, whatever, just be your true and authentic self, then put them in a community of people who embrace other people for being their true and authentic self, have meaningful conversations that add value to all participants of a conversation, and essentially manifest the philosophy of the short poppy syndrome. Like, you know, tall poppy syndrome, like all the fucking haters are just cutting down the people that want to stand out. The short poppy syndrome is all the people that are thriving, looking around themselves and going, oi, come here, I got you.
Yeah, pulling them up,
yeah, let's go, let's do this and let's change society. Because like, I don't know if you've had a look around, like in the 15 years that we've been running, same shit, different day. Like I could give a ton of examples, but like, it's the same fucking shit. It's a different day. What do we need to do in order to right this ship? Because I think that there's a lot of people out there that through the course of their life get fed information that's not entirely correct. And I think if you hear a message enough, you can't help but believe that that's true. And that's totally unfair to people who don't have the right influences in their life. And so when you're making these podcasts, and I can, give me an opportunity to speak like totally truthfully with love and respect to everybody around the world, saying, hey, like I got your back, doesn't matter what, but let's fucking figure some of this shit out. I think people like you are making the world a better place. So that's why I do the conference, because like I was a nobody, but I felt like I was cottoning onto a subject, and I was like, who can speak with authority, love, and grace on these topics to a community who are essentially the gatekeepers of communication for the extended world? How can we help people do the right thing? And I think the right thing is just being able to tell someone you love them, that you care about them, and that they're important and special, and but no more important or special than anyone else. But you're a gem. A lot of people just got a lot of shit going on, man. They don't know how to process it and deal with it, and they've never had anyone truly go, hey, dude, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. I love you. So that's what the conference is about. And that's what I thought needed to be put on stage, because whether you're an executive creative director for one of these, enterprise level creative agencies, or you're a budding leader, senior designer at a 5-person studio where the boss is the creative director and you're never going to be the creative director because they're the boss. Like, it speaks to all those people. It speaks to a young person. It speaks to an old person. It just sort of says, hey, we're in this together, and there's a bigger thing at play than you, your career, the car that you drive, the house that you want. Because we live in a beautiful place. Or the Sunshine Coast in its entirety is unbelievable. It's the best place I've ever been. But we live on land, and
but you were in Cleveland.
Yeah, well, it's just America in general. Like in the minor leagues, man, it's hard work. Like sleeping in motels that you could still smoke cigarettes in.
Yeah.
So I would leave my motel room, and the coaches would look at you and just be like disgusted, because they think you've been out all night ripping.
Yeah, but it's just a room.
Yeah, dude. And I'm just like, so that shit doesn't exist in Australia, and it has never existed in Australia. Like smoking rooms, like, are you kidding me? And so I'm very blessed for where I live. But like, there's so many things that I want, but I just choose not to give that energy. I want a Ferrari, but it's not gonna make me get out of bed, and it's not gonna dictate what I want to do. I just know that if I lift weights, like my little weight thing over there, and I go for a walk every day, and I give a solid effort to what I want to do, I think I can make anything happen. You just got to be patient. It's not going to happen this year. Look, I've been working on the conference for so long, but I just love it. I love it.
I love it. So like, how is this year, right, June, going to be better than the last, few years? How are you planning to change this?
That's a great question. So, first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. No, the first rule of curating a great experience is changing it every year. I believe that predictability is the killer of a conference, because you're just leaving it up to the speakers to be the individual, like like if the conference was a Christmas tree, the speakers are all the things hanging on it, right? So you don't just want to leave it up to there. You want to switch it up, and maybe the Christmas tree is like hanging from the roof instead, and it's pointing at all the presents underneath. And so what I did this year is I switched up the nomination process, and I let anyone in the world nominate. All they had to do was like download a Figma template, populate it with their keynote synopsis, their bio, their intro, some of their work, post it on Instagram, tag me or tag the conference. And I didn't care how bad their work was. or how good they were. I just review, accept, hey, thank you so much. Like, I genuinely appreciate your interest in what we're doing, because what we're doing is so much more than your experience. And I think, what did I write? This was the call out. The official call out was this. I really loved this passage. For the first time in 15 years, the design conference, we're opening nominations to speak at the design conference. We've ditched outdated gatekeeping methods that are no longer aligned with our brand or experience, and instead are reaching out to the most dynamic and diverse creatives the world has to offer. If that's you or someone you know, connect with us or make your nomination known. Whatever your discipline, regardless of experience, if you're uniquely qualified to lead the next generation through 2024, this opportunity is for you. And so, so many people reached out that I've never had connections with from almost every continent on Earth. And it was just about to explode when I cut it off. So this year, so what's the big change is, we've opened nominations. And with a nomination, I got keynote synopsis. So I know what they're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. So what that's going to do is prevent people from coming to TDC and talking about their work and doing a big sort of
portfolio review.
Yeah, man. And that shit is fucking painful.
That's the worst. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'll be at design conference and someone will start doing it and I'm like, oh, fuck, I need a cigarette. And I'll just hop up out of the crowd, go at the back and just feel like fucking rip on a cigarette, because I'm just like, I really don't know what sentence I can share with people that will resonate in a way that encourages them to not do that. Like, put the time into the talk and say something that's truly vulnerable. And so we've got 100 nominations, which is not a lot, but like, fuck, it's
pretty insane. Yeah,
way too difficult for me to decide who speaks. So I quickly got Typeform, like an online platform, created like a couple of, I broke it up into male and female and international and national, like male and female, with all respects to non-binary crew, and got the women to vote on the women, the men to vote on the men. So they've got till Sunday to vote. So they're all going to pick themselves. That's going to be like the guide. So I said, please pick based on what people said they'll talk about. I'll use that as a guideline. And then I'm going to start it one session later so everyone can fly in, mingle, have a coffee or hang out before. Because like our venue, like Brisbane as a city is it's stunning, except we just don't have a beach. And I live for a fucking beach. But like, we just, because there's some big islands, like islands that are so, like, they're massive, like they'd be like Maine, big island, and they exist out from Brisbane. So Brisbane's like beach is like muddy, it's like the water comes in, but it's like a river. But then the river snakes through the city. It goes round where our event is, sweeps back, and then around the city where all the bridges are and everything. So our event is in this huge building. It's an abandoned power station that they've refurbed into it's just Google the Brisbane Powerhouse Brisbane. It's stunning. So we transform this place into this absolutely stunning experience. So the morning, we'll give everyone a little bit longer. We'll skip that first talk that kicks off at like 9:00. We'll give everyone way more time to get there. Yeah. We'll have like all our merch out. We'll have all the speakers all mingling, coffees going, like having just a real good vibe. One thing that's bugged me today is getting everyone to the event on time, because a lot of people want to fly in the morning of, because like our audience doesn't live in Brisbane. Maybe a quarter, like they come from Melbourne, Sydney, New Zealand, Asia, Japan, all this sort of, so they're all flying in. Give them a little bit longer to get there. So I've got this, I can probably say this. It looks like we're going to curate a mind coach to give everyone like a pat on the ass before they go into the conference and open their mind to like really learning something and letting go of their biases. And then we're going to finish early, which we've never done. And we're going to have a party at the Powerhouse. We're going to have DJs on. That's when the beers come out. That's when the alcohol sponsors really get involved, because we're a 0% alcohol event until the end. So what's the difference? I think it's going to go a level deeper in context. I think it's going to be levels better
Yeah.
in content. And I think, like, traditionally, it's been a marathon, dude. People are like fucking zombies at the end of it. So I think they'll have a little bit more left in the tank to stick around and have a drink and celebrate and have a bit of a boogie and fucking go home with a smile on their face. It's going to last 12 months and maybe more. I don't know. We'll get that small poppy syndrome pumping.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? It's like, you go to a conference, you get your ticket, you get excited to go, you show up to the conference, and then you sit, and then you just stare at somebody up on stage, and there's another person, and you've got like a portfolio review, and then you leave, and you've taken all these notes, and then you're like, I got all these notes, I got all these pictures and selfies, and then you put that book in your desk, and you go back to work, right? And it's like
exactly, and that
you should be going to connect.
That I'm going to change that.
Yeah. Yep. And that's you should be going to connect with people and meeting new people. Not just if you show up with like 3 friends, like you should leave with 20 friends. Like you should leave with more people because as creatives, like we get inspired by everybody. So the more people that you connect with internationally, the more inspiration you can draw from, right? Like just the more people you can reach out to if you're having a hard time, if you're, you've hit a hurdle and you're not sure how to get over it. Right? Like I can reach out to you. Hey man, how do you do this? And kind of the vice versa. If finding your spec data is a wild goose chase around your office, you've got a data problem. SpecRite is the only cloud-based management specification solution that every brand needs. Because if you don't spec right, you'll spec wrong.
One of the things that we're going to do this year is so we have like the lanyard, we're going to give them like an extra lanyard that sort of signifies that if they're there on their own. So if they want, they can kind of clip it on like a secondary lanyard, maybe like a red card or a yellow card that clips on. And it sort of says, like, I'm here on my own and I'd like to hang out with other people. Yeah. So when they're ready to hang out, they kind of just clip it on at lunchtime and other people see it clipped on and be like, hey, what's up? Like I'm Matt. I saw you've got your fucking open to connect sort of flag up. Let's hang out. Cause like traditionally, like, and like I'm a part-time smoker. Mm-hmm. And like traditionally, that's what the smoking area has always been good for. You just fucking cruise over to the smoking area. What's up, lads? Who's got a lighter? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you just connect.
That's always been a really great way to start a conversation. The design conference brought to you by. That's a cigarette brand.
Camel.
big tobacco. Big American Spirit presents. Yeah. But healthy decisions, let's be honest. Yeah. But that's something that we're going to incorporate. And but like it's so funny. I'll get up on stage and I'll like open it up and be like, hey gang, like be ready for something, like are you ready to open your mind for something brilliant to happen? Like I've seen so many familiar faces in the audience, like don't let this be another year where you come back here with the same goals as last year. Your goal this year is to be in a different place when you come back here next year. And if that place is so wonderful that you don't need to come back, fucking email me, dude, because I want to know about it. I do want to know about where you're at, and I still do care, even though I don't see you anymore, And I've got those emails, man, and that they put the trade wins in your sales, man. Like when you're really fucking struggling, you'll get an email from someone that goes, oh, just so you know, that shit changed my life, bro. Thank you so much. And you're just like,
it's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it again.
It's the best. Yeah. So, awesome. Well, like it doesn't matter what you're up against when you know that you're doing something good. And that's something that's what's got me to where I'm at. Cause like your first event was like $5,000. We spend like $500,000 now on an event. And like, you'd think we'd profit more than we do, but we don't, because I'm building a brand. I'm just building something that's fair and equitable for everybody to experience. And then, like if you're listening, Rick Rubin, I'm ready.
I see his book over your shoulder.
Oh yeah, dude. So a friend sent that to me. I actually listen. A really good friend was someone that I'm is like my people's choice this year. I listen to books, and without being like too out there or claiming anything, like I fully believe in everything that he's saying. Fully believe in everything that he's talking about from a creative standpoint. Like, I would like to become a Rick Rubin type person, where like not because he's Rick Rubin, because like I fully believe in what he's saying, that you don't have to follow what everyone else thinks is cool. Like, what is cool is having the faith to genuinely believe in what you like, and that is good enough, as opposed to wanting things that you think are cool and that you associate that vibe or that frequency with people and go, if you work here, then you're cool, so therefore I want to work there. Like that or like, you know what I mean? Like it, as opposed to going,
100%.
I want to do this with my time, and I don't care who I do it with, how I do it, how I achieve it. All that matters to me is that I'm doing it because I believe in . And that is you taking control over your mind, ownership over your destiny, manifesting a reality that you are fully and totally committed to. And I cannot really see how bad, like what I would call like evil, comes out of that. Like, you'd have to be a real piece of shit to manifest some evil shit.
Yeah.
Like, and people, don't get me wrong.
Like,
it
yeah,
happens.
like you get like
It's out there.
getting up. Oh yeah. Like getting up in the morning and deciding to do something in that vein is, you know, it's pretty rare, I would say, when we average everybody out, but yeah, it does happen, you know, and it doesn't take very many.
Yeah. Like, think about this podcast, right? Like, someone inspired you to do the podcast, and now you're disseminating a message. Think about the people that are listening to this message. They might be inspired to do a podcast as well, and maybe we're just like helping them commit to their own life. Like, what you're doing, like, I want to say God's work, but like what I call God and what other people call God's probably two different things. Probably the same thing, to be honest, but just 1 + 1 = 2. Like, we're getting there a different way. But this is God's work, man. You're doing God's work, and like I don't know how long we podcast for, but let me say this.
This is my first one.
Thank you, man. No, but like on behalf of everyone that's ever listened and has been on the cast, man, like, thank you for doing this, dude. It's a beautiful thing. I hope people get a lot out of it, and I wish more people were like you, bro, because you're making the world a better place, and you're casting light into a dark place for a lot of people, and you're changing lives, man, and you need to know that.
Oh, well, hey, I appreciate that. And if we take let's say, no, I do. I appreciate that. And I love what you're doing with TDC and kind of how you're changing the expectation of what a conference can be, right? Not what it should be, but what it can be. It's just like the potential of like, I'm going to show up. I'm going to hear about design. Yeah. I'm going to, get something out of it from that side, but also, you're going to fill my cup, and I'm going to have the energy to kind of go through the next year. Right. I'm going to meet people. I'm going to meet you. I'm going to, it's not a conference, man. It's just like a gathering. It's a coming together of people that are similar from different walks of life. Right. We've got some overlapping similarities. So let's connect. And I think design audience is the most accepting and forgiving group of people. Right. Because we have to view life through everybody's eyes as we create things. Like, okay, how do I get into this market? Well, let me think about it from this person's perspective or this person's perspective. So we do have that opportunity where a lot of other people don't, right? Like, you may have a job where you just show up and I'm pumping gas and that's it. I just see my life through my eyes, and that's it, and nobody else's.
Fuck, man. Can you imagine pumping gas for a living?
Oh man. Well, that's why it's all
hard work.
But what, but I did want to ask you, like, all right, so but if we take this, this idea right, of TDC and, personal acceptance, group acceptance, sharing the love out, beyond yourself and coming to terms with yourself. Like how does that manifest itself into design, right? How can that free a designer?
Oh fuck, man! I think it's universal. Like I really do. I think it's universal. I think it's almost like if spirituality was an onion, when you start peeling back those layers, like if you become this incredible, like think about an incredible friend is probably also an incredible parent and an incredible child and someone who's just like present, like being present and listening and participating in ways that other people just don't, and they don't see the forest through the trees. So like those people, they can use their intellect to pull apart the whole picture as opposed to the part that they were interested in. And if someone's your friend because they can get something off you, think about that as a designer. I'm going to work with you for your money as opposed to I have a rate and this is how I operate and da 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 da. But this is where I see the opportunity is for your product or service. This is what we think that we can gain out of it for you. And this is how long it's going to take. And if we can collaborate together, we'll find a way to work within your budgets and da 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 da. And let's have a crack at it. You're probably going to have to spend somewhere between here and here. And if that's acceptable for you, I think it'd be really lovely to get going, as opposed to just going, "Yep, here's my quote. Fucking see ya." You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's all hand in hand, man. I really do. I think great people are great creatives, are great parents, and I think the common denominator across them is that they're present, they're spiritually awake, and they're not trying to impress anybody. Like they've gotten past that "I need this," as opposed to "I want to live a fulfilling life that is rich with friendship and conversation and ideas and all these types of things that resonate in a way that just make you feel alive." Like slow time down. It's like it's Monday and I'm going to fucking do this, as opposed to like I don't know how many times I've heard it. It's like, fuck, man, Christmas is almost here.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, man, it's my birthday next week. And you're like, it feels like it was my birthday just the other week, like that's because we're not being present. Our mind is constantly in the future. And when our mind is constantly in the future, time just fucking speeds up because that's where we're at. Well, time traveling, and that's why I imagine being depressed is fucking awful because your mind is stuck in the past. And so it's just a drag. But if you can be present and right here, time runs at the way it was meant to feel. You achieve something every day. You get your 8 hours sleep. You tell your partner that you love them and you mean it with all your heart. You hold your kids and you're like, "What's up, you little fucker?" You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like you just do 100%. You. Yeah. You just end up doing you. So like,
did you always?
I think.
So you always? No. I think there's a little bit of delay, so no sweat. Were you always this mindful?
Oh, dude, I don't even know if you'd call me mindful. I try to be, man. I really try to be. Where
does this come from?
Oh, dude, I got fucking had a shit childhood. My parents broke up for a reason. And then I lived with both of them at that tween, when you're a tween, like there. And I sort of saw two different philosophies of how to rule the roost. Basically, one parent ruled the roost with an iron fist and the other parent didn't rule the roost at all. It was just like, be home before dark. And so in one scenario, we had nothing and I could we were poor and I was rich with time. And I was quite smart growing up. And then the other parent had all the toys and everything, but didn't give me my freedom, which was like my previous currency. And so I was just like, I don't want a Sega if I can't play it. And I don't want all this cool shit if I can't wear it. And I don't want to like do all this chores if I can't enjoy the fruits of my labor. I just want to fucking have my freedom. And I want to, instead of being, because I'm massive, dude. I'm 6'4". Like, I'm a big person. For a white guy, I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
And I was a big kid. I was biggest. So I could be a bully. And then I felt like I was having a shit time and not being able to express myself as a child, like in that tween spirit period when I went and lived with the one parent who was really strict. Yeah. And I was like, life ain't about materialistic objects. It really can't be. Life is about friendship and love and dreams and hopes and ambition. And it's about making the most of yourself in a way that the person that you love most, that has made the biggest impact on your life, would look at you and say, I'm proud of you, dude. Like, that's it for me. And so I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to go fully in on this baseball thing because I'm good at it. Like I could throw the ball quite fast. I reckon I could have gone a little bit further if I was just a little bit more better at understanding shit. But going to America and being selected to play professional baseball, I was like, man, I've got no business being here, which is like, fine. What's the chances that I could do anything I want? What do I love? Yeah. What strikes a chord in me in ways that I don't understand? And how can I position that philosophy to turn that into something I love so I can be one of those people that can't discern the difference between work and play? And from that standpoint, man, I was just like, how good is creativity? How good is community? And like, I've had other people in my life that will like serve the community. Like it's not my community, it's the community. Yeah. But they placed themselves in the community and asked, how can I help? As opposed to, oh, what could I leverage this into? You know, so like TDC has always been like, hey, how can I help? And like at the after party, like at the end of the event, I stand at the front door and fucking take bulk photos with everyone. You know, just fucking giving everyone a hug, and everyone just literally crowds around because I just want to say goodbye. And if someone's walking off and they're not going to wait, she's like, give me a second. Hey, dude, I know you got to go. Just give us a big fucking hug. She's like, bam. It's like, fucking thank you for coming. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? And so I try and thank everybody. But it's not about me and my ego being on stage, because like I think it's fun, but it's not about me. Yeah. And I try and have really great past speakers host the event because, like I said, it's a soapbox. It's not about me. But yeah, it's a special thing when you tap into serving other people. And like I was saying earlier, that trade wind, man, it's like love. It's like this. Have you ever had like a psychedelic journey? Like, have you ever done anything like that, like a plant medicine journey?
100%. 100%. I grew up in Maui and through high school, and that.
Oh, nice.
Those, you know, you can imagine those were some good times.
but you know, like when you're on a journey, and you're just overcome with that light, fluffy love, and you're just like, oh my God, like, fuck, that's it. That's the source. Like when you serve the community, help people, it's the same thing, dude. Yeah. It's the same thing. And then I've also had these experiences where I'm really struggling, and I've had like some sort of next level entity like in my presence, but I just refuse to open my eyes to know that it's real or not real. And once, like when I was living with the one parent, I was really fucking struggling, man. I was like hitting rock bottom pretty hard for a kid. It wasn't fair at all. And could feel this beautiful feeling in my room. And I'm like, man, what is going on? So there's a fucking angel in my room. I can tell. I don't want to open my eyes for fear that it's not there, but I fucking really need this to be real. Like, I really need to know that someone's got my back. And then I felt it kiss me on the cheek. Like, I felt it. And I was like, don't open your eyes, man. But I did a massive journey, like a DMT based journey. And fucking saw the same person, dude, the person that I imagined. Well, like, it was in my journey. It's like, but it was like, I've had your back the whole fucking time, kid. Keep going. Mm-hmm. Fucking awesome, man. Makes me want to cry, actually.
No, dude, that's amazing, man. And you know, like if we, I think everybody listening's kind of had their own obstacles in life, right? And we've all kind of gone through that. We've got our ups and we've got our downs, and it's always like, who's one? It's like when I'm going to work, who's the person there that's got my back, right? When I come home, who's the person that's got my back, right? There's always different people in your life that not only have your back, but whose back do you have, right? During these times. And
I think that's the best place to start when you're struggling. Is not who's got my back, whose back have I got, and have I got my back the same way I've got their back? It's like, I saw this really great. I love Instagram, dude. Such a good way to pass time. I doom scroll like positive shit. It's awesome.
Right.
There's this one dude, this chick or this interviewee walks up to this black young dude and goes like, yo, you know, like, if you got to meet God, what would you ask him? And he goes, I don't think I'd ask God anything. I'd just give him my thanks. And I was just like, yes, bro, nailed it. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what it is, man. Stop asking for yourself and start praying good happens to other people, and just hold in your heart that if enough people do that, someone's praying for you too. And that person that's praying for you is someone that can really help you, because the people that we naturally want to help are those that are trying their absolute best. And if you're trying your absolute best, man, someone's out there, they're watching, and they can see you churning fucking milk into butter, and they're like, I reckon I could give that person just a little nudge and change their whole fucking world. Sure. Because they're already lifting the weights. They're already doing all the hard work. They're just spinning their wheels a little bit because, like, life ain't easy. And people love to help people out that are spinning their wheels, especially if you're kind-hearted and you're doing it for all the right reasons. Like this year, one of the speakers from last year's conference is the CEO of a really great agency in Sydney. Mm-hmm. She's seen me spinning my wheels for years, and she's just like, oh, Maddie, let me help you, darling. Like, you need help. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And it's going to just fucking change my whole world, dude. Like, it really will. She's incredible. Her name's Jasmine Bidia. She is an incredible person, and she has tremendous amount of business acumen. And to be able to use that to assist me in my decision-making process is brilliant. And it's already working. It's amazing. The news that I got, like, we had a quick conversation yesterday, I'm like, I can feel like good things are going to happen. And I feel tremendously blessed, bro.
Oh, dude, that's amazing. I would say, you know, before we start wrapping up here, like, who's the person that you would want to hear from? Say, Maddie, man, I'm really proud of you. You know, you've put this thing together, and you're bringing together this community.
This has already happened for me, dude. So like 20, like 15, no. I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, there's this incredible designer. His name's Dean Poole. He's the president of AGI, which is like some French term, but it's like the International Graphic Designers Exclusive Club. And they it's like the Hall of Fame of graphic design. But I know it sounds really fucking wanky when I put it like that, but they recognize people who are genuinely brilliant designers. They really do. And, you know, like, people don't know everyone, and some people think that they should be in the club and aren't in the club, but, like, fucking patience. It doesn't matter if you're in a club or not. Dean came out to the conference, and I sort of talked him into it. I was like, Dean, you got to speak, man. I love your work. You're like fucking, you're brilliant creative. And anyways, everyone wanted to drive Dean to the airport after the conference. And I was like, no, you fucking relax. I'm driving Dean to the airport. So like, it's probably like 20 minutes. We're cruising out to the airport. And he's like, Matty, we got time for a quick smoke, bro? And I was like, of course. So I was carrying his shit. I put his shit down and out come his Marlboro Reds, smokes fucking hardcore diaries. It's like a whole meal. And then so I'm having a ciggy with Dean, and he's like, and he put his hand on my shoulder and goes, Matty, you're the real deal, bro. Keep going. Oh fuck, man. It's probably one of the most important, like a rite of passage to have someone like that sort of go, you're a fucking good cunt. Keep going. And I wasn't fishing for it. I know that he was 100% genuine in what he was saying, and I think that it was the perfect time for me to hear that as a creative person, and it helped me. It just helped me understand that I'm doing a good thing, because like it's undoubtable, I am doing really great work, but when you're in it, it feels like a shit fight. And I imagine that's what it feels like for everybody. It's a shit fight. Because, like, what's the antithesis? I work this hard and I'm making $1 million a month. Like, that would really fuck with me. And I don't want it to, and I'm not manifesting that. So I'll take that back. It wouldn't fuck with me. But it would change the dynamics to which how things happen if you're making a ridiculous salary. Or your company is really going well. Because, like, I imagine that it's at that point, because, like, at the start we spoke about front loading, right? If I front load, because I'm 40 now, and I've been front loading for a long time. Fortunately, I love what I do. But we have a child on the way. Everything's changing. We've got this startup company that I'm turning the design conference into a digital utility to help people connect and collaborate and do it without having to know people. Like a fully verified, trustless, creative ecosystem. And man, I've done all this discovery on it, and it's a fucking great idea. Everyone I've run it by is like, what the fuck are you waiting for? Hurry up and start building this before someone else beats you to it. And I'm like, I can already see everyone's doing the same idea. But because I'm rooted in community, because my community knows me and trusts me and love me, like we started one handle on Instagram. It's called the Design Careers, which is the start of it, because it's like TDC. Like, man, there's like 7,700 followers on there already. I've only been going a couple of months. Like I just go in and post a job. Like a really great job that I can find on the internet. For Australia and New Zealand, and I post it. And now people are messaging me, hey, can you post this job for me? You know, like people are finding out. We've got 20,000 followers on the design conference Instagram, and this has already got more than a third of that. And our TD conference Instagram has been going for like 10 years or something. So like, I've really struck a chord with the community. And so like, this is this utility. Like, I want to be able to allow people to find the job of their dreams. And the way that I've architected this concept is, I think it's pretty clever. And so this sort of started in COVID, not long after Dean put his hand on my shoulder and helped me believe in myself. Yeah, I started doing this thing, and I reached out to people like Kevin Finn, who's like a leading brand specialist from where I live, and talked about like what the culture of design is, and reached out to another guy his name's G Tordo. He works for Kodo in Sydney now. They've just opened up a studio there, and they're helping me understand what we need, and being able to translate creative community into a metric that we can help people use to make informed decisions about their career, where they want to work, how they want to work, what they're prepared to give up, what they deserve in return, and just give people data and metrics to make informed decisions about what they want to do, how they want to do it, and when they want to do it. I think that we can go back, even circling back to that previous conversation, is that we can put people into a position of power so they can front load, say, Monday to Thursday, have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with the family, get everything done, and then still get that 9 to 5, Monday to Friday workload done in a small period of time, but having that balance. So, yeah, man, like that's what's next. And I don't know how I would have done it. And I never would have imagined doing it if I hadn't have done the conference. So to summarize, there's an opportunity that I never would have imagined myself being part of, let alone conceiving it, if I hadn't have done the conference and the thing that was calling out to me and served other people. So through helping people, I've been able to build this incredible network, have opportunities like this with you, and share a good yarn. And like the careers thing, I'm just posting other people's jobs for no money.
Yeah.
No one's paying me to do it, but it's helping me validate an idea that I think has a lot of it has a lot of upside. And, you know, if you go and drop hundreds of thousands of dollars or go and ask, you know, a venture capitalist the best part of $10 million, you want to have a validated idea, something that everyone can buy into. And that's why I was talking about like making $1 million a month, because like I 100% think we can do that. And I think that we can do that by taking a small a fee from people in an ecosystem that we're helping become exactly who they want to be. And so imagine if I could help you get the job of your life, but someone paid me $500 to place that job. Now, I don't give too much away, but I think that that whole user experience could be revolutionized. And I think that if you go back to the newspaper and then you go to LinkedIn jobs, what we're building is the next thing. And with society the way it is, the demands on the workplace the way they are, where we are in history, where we are in the product life cycle of a conference, and where we are with technology. Oh my God, dude. If I don't do this, I will just regret it for the rest of my life. So I'm putting all the marbles on the table and I'm having a go. And at worst case scenario, it'll be like a great little second business. Best case scenario, TDC will be everywhere and we'll be enabling people to do whatever it is that they're passionate about. Yeah, I'm fucking pumped, dude. I don't know if you can tell, I'm fucking pumped.
Dude, I love having you on here as a guest, man. Super inspiring. I love this change, the shift to what a conference can be. And it's not about the conference. It's about the people that are going. Right? It's not about the people on stage.
Absolutely.
It's about, you know, it's about the community. And I think when you take that approach, right, it's like we can all grow together. It's not the tall, short poppy. It's like we're just you know, fuck, you're taller than me. You can lift me up. I can lift you up, and it's helping each other. So, dude, it's beautiful. Love it.
And I have to return the favor one day. So, however I can say thanks for having me on the show, all you need to do is ask, man. I'll make it happen. I really appreciate you having me on the show, and I hope that what I've had to say is resonating with your listeners. And if anyone has anything to like any questions or whatever, like they can just hit me up. I entered my email or whatever. They can just hit me up on any of the social links and share your thoughts. If I've offended anybody, it's not on purpose. Like I have mad love for everybody. And I wish everybody listening all the best with their dreams, goals, and ambitions. And if I can help anybody out there in any way, shape, or form, you know, just reach out. I'd be honored to.
Dude, that's amazing. And I'll have links to everything. Right, I've got the design careers on Instagram, your LinkedIn, the design conference. I mean, you've got a lot of cool stuff going on. I'm just flipping through the design careers, right? And you've got like, you know, you've got Sydney, you've got London, you've got Melbourne, you know.
It's mainly focused in Australia at the moment, but like if there's a saying in Australia is if you can get something to work in Brisbane, it'll work anywhere in Australia. If you can get something to work in Australia, it'll work anywhere in the world because it's a tough market, big country with a small population. But yeah, fuck, man. I'm excited.
Dude,
as soon as I get off, I'm going to start working on the startup again.
Good. I'm glad, because this is awesome, man. I mean, definitely go check it out. Even if you're not in Australia, go check it out. Go follow it, because you're gonna get a lot of positive. There's just a lot of positivity, man. That's just it. You're starting the community. I think that's the community that design needs. It's the next generation of what designers need, man. So
I really do think it is. Hey, I really do think it is.